let's roll out the red carpet for the red country, why don't we, right? That's what's happening, isn't it?
That's right. Outside the White House complex right now, there are U.S. and Chinese flags. Right over my right shoulder, there's also a big protest going on from Tibetan nationalists asking for independence, or certainly human rights in Tibet. So, you know, no matter how festive that red carpet will be, this is still the United States, and who's welcome will be a mixed one, no matter what.
The defense secretary shows up in China. They immediately fly their stealth fighter as an absolute slap in the face of the United States. He returns, and we welcome the Chinese leader for 2 dinners, a lunch, and a trip to the Capitol Hill. Is that right?
You know, when your banker comes to town, you still roll out the red carpet. We have a $1.3 trillion budget deficit. Huge amounts of that is floated by the Chinese government. And, you know, the Chinese people are kind of ahead of the Chinese government here. They actually want President Hu to be more aggressive with President Obama. President Obama is being pressured to be more aggressive with President Hu about human rights. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. We're going to probably get very kind of sanitized versions of what happens in these dinners. Yeah,
if we get any idea at all of what happened in that dinner, we won't know it. And I'm curious what the hope for an outcome here is, first for the United States side, and then maybe for the Chinese side.
Well, you know, the White House is really playing things down. They're saying that basically all of what they like to call deliverables have been delivered. The Chinese have let their currency float a little bit. It's worth a little bit more money. That means that Chinese imports are a little more expensive in the United States. U.S. exports are a little cheaper. Not a lot. And we really haven't seen much progress on the human rights front at all. The question here is we're kind of at a stalemate. What Larry Summers, the former White House economic advisor, called kind of a mutually assured destruction. Can't live with them, can't live without them. The Chinese need us and we need them.
And the transfer of wealth from our society to theirs continues on this beautiful day at the White House.
We've got further agreement as a consequence of the state visit, and I think President Hu would acknowledge that more needs to be done.
那么，中国政府在执行关于知识财产法律方面也获得了一定的成功。由于这一次国事访问，我们也取得了进一步的一致。但是，我想胡主席也认识到一点，就是还需要做的更多。
But the currency issue is a part of the problem. The RMB is undervalued. The Chinese government has intervened very forcefully in the currency markets. They've spent $200 billion just recently. And that's an indication of the degree to which it's still undervalued. President Hu has indicated he's committed to moving towards a market-based system, and there has been movement, but it's not as fast as we want. And what I've said to President Hu, and I firmly believe this, is not only will U.S. businesses be able to export more to China if we have a market-based currency, but it'll also be good for China and President Hu's agenda of expanding domestic demand, because if the RMB is worth more, that means they can buy more products and services, and that will contribute to China having greater purchasing power and a higher standard of living. So this is something that can be a win-win. President Hu's concerned, understandably, about how rapid this transition takes and the disruptions that may occur in its export sector, but I'm confident that it's the right thing to do, and my hope and expectation is that President Hu's resolve will lead to a fully market-based currency program that will allow more effective trade between our two countries.